Now, I'm not going to lie. This might be the actual biggest news that we have come across in years. Now, we discuss rappers beefing with one another, shooting one another. I don't even know, some other type of drama, but this affects like the entire music industry business, because TikTok, as we all know, basically controls the culture, not only just in music, but like all of the trends when it comes to clothes, comes to just, I'm talking about like how people act, like their behaviors. That is getting affected now. And I mean, it is controlled by China, even though they said that they store their data in the US now. But regardless, Universal Music Group, the largest music company in the world, one of the big three, there's Universal, Sony, and Warner. And they all basically own all of the subsidiaries like Interscope, Republic Records, Columbia, whatever. All of the labels that you hear about, they're basically owned by one of those three labels, and Universal happens to be the largest. And so essentially starting tomorrow, because this is when the contract with TikTok, with their negotiations for like how much Universal is going to get paid out when these songs from their artists are used in TikTok videos, because you know how there's like sounds, and basically the entire app is just run on using sounds from music or just somebody uploading a different sound, even if it's just like sampled. But regardless, so starting tomorrow, Universal is going to be removing all of their artists and the subsidiaries, meaning like Interscope, Republic Records, basically all of the labels underneath Universal too that they own or distribute for are getting removed from TikTok. This is huge, because not only does this mean Drake, this means Taylor Swift, Eminem, The Weeknd. That's literally like the top 3 or 4 artists in the world, okay? And you know this, that are gonna be taken off TikTok. So what is that gonna mean for TikTok, the app? Does this mean that maybe because all of everyone's favorite artists or the most streamed artists won't be on the app? And by the way, this also includes Playboi Carti and Yeat. I put them in there because, like, you know, that relates to our niche. Those are one of our favorite artists. But does that mean that fans are now not going to use TikTok because their favorite artists are not on the app? Or does this just mean that now Drake, The Weeknd, Taylor Swift, Cardi, Yeat are not going to be successful anymore because they won't be able to like keep up with the trends on TikTok? Because it really depends on the elasticity of TikTok, meaning that are people going to stay on the app? If they stay on the app, this is a huge competitive disadvantage for Universal, if you ask me, whereas Warner, Sony, and all the other labels that are underneath them, now they get like fair play, like they get to basically dominate the entire app. All of the Universal artists are gone, which is crazy, because again, we know how dependent artists are for the most part. Like, you can see when a song starts trending on the For You page for TikTok, you can see the streams like directly go up on all the other streaming platforms. So it is directly correlated. So in my opinion, I'm not going to sit here and tell Universal they don't know what they're doing, because maybe they're getting scammed out of TikTok playing their music basically for free and just saying like it's for promotion, even though TikTok's making so much money on ads or however they make money. So anyway, this is what Billboard reported, okay? And apparently it's because Universal said that the music giant has accused the wildly popular platform of trying to build a music-based business without paying fair value for the music. So essentially, the contract expired for the amount that Universal was going to get paid from TikTok every time that one of the sounds, say Drake or The Weeknd or Taylor Swift, one of their songs was played in a sound. So they get like paid out a certain amount of royalties, whether that be like cents or fractions of a cent. Universal just said they weren't getting paid enough. It is what it is. Now, will taking it out completely, will they make less money because of all the streams? I guess we will find out within the next year or so, because if I'd say within 2024, if their music and their revenue starts to go down, I bet you they're gonna they'll give TikTok the music for free. Like, please just promote it, because again, that's basically how people find new songs. But anyway, here's the article. Universal Music Group says it will pull its entire music catalog from TikTok when its contract with the service expires on Wednesday, January 31st. In the letter released Tuesday, which is today, and addressed to UMG artists and songwriters, the company states that it's particularly concerned about the rates that TikTok is offering to pay for its catalog. Other points of contention include the amount of content on TikTok that infringes its artists and songwriters' work without providing meaningful solutions to help them combat it, the level of hate and harassment on the platform, and TikTok's stances on artificial intelligence. Damn. So they're saying, basically, not only are you not paying us enough money, but for the music that you use that we actually own, but now you're letting it slide when people post snippets and leaks and AI versions of artists that we own the intellectual property for, or you know how some sounds don't fit directly into the actual song on TikTok. It'll be like named something else by some creator that originally posted it, like Mr. Rage was something before that released. So I guess maybe they weren't getting paid royalties for situations like that too. Here's what TikTok was allegedly trying to pay them. With respect to the issue of artist and songwriter compensation, TikTok proposed paying our artists and songwriters at a rate that is a fraction of the rate that similarly situated major social platforms pay. Also, according to UMG, during the negotiations, ByteDance, which is they own TikTok, social giant demanded a contractual right which would allow AI content to massively dilute the royalty pool for human artists while developing tools to enable, promote, and encourage AI music creation on the platform itself, which UMG states is nothing short of sponsoring artist replacement by AI. Okay, that's kind of facts. So basically, like, how these streaming platforms pay their royalties is they take all of the advertising revenue and the subscription revenue that they get, and this includes Apple Music and Spotify and TikTok, I guess. They take that and then they take the amount of total streams, or, you know, things that they have to pay out, the unit, like the amount of sounds that were played on TikTok, and they divide that ad revenue by the amount of streams, and that's how much everybody gets paid out. And usually there's like a, you know, Spotify is usually like 4.5 cents. Apple Music, I think, might be 1 cent per stream, but that's because that's an only subscription supported platform, whereas Spotify is advertising as well, even though there is subscription too. But by TikTok allowing all of this artificial intelligence music on the platform, it basically reduces the rate at which real artists will get paid. And so I don't think the label actually cares too much about like AI making music, because frankly, it's not as good, but they're gonna get paid less just because AI, you can pump out, like you can make 1 million songs way faster, way more efficiently than actually Drake stepping in the studio and making the music. So it's basically like, yeah, diluting how much money they're gonna make. It's TikTok. I think they're even trying to start like a distribution service or something. So they're really trying to take over. China is a menace, bro. But in the letter, UMG continued by claiming that when it proposed that TikTok take similar steps as our other platform partners to try to address these issues, it responded first with indifference and then with intimidation. Damn. They pulled out the Glock. As our negotiations continued, TikTok attempted to bully us into accepting a deal worth less than the previous deal, far less than fair market value and not reflective of their exponential growth. The letter added, how did it try to intimidate us? By selectively removing the music of certain of our developing artists while keeping on the platform our audience, driving global stars. Damn, so they took off like the new stars or the new budding artists, I guess, so that when the stars finally died off, Universal wouldn't have the next evolution of artists to take their footsteps, you know? So I guess take out their legs. So there you have it. Universal is trying to take out TikTok. I assume it's probably hoping that Sony and Warner also hop on the bandwagon to take it out, because after them, then we already have Instagram Reels, which is basically the same thing as TikTok, although some people claim that the algorithms are different. I think they're pretty similar, but of course, Instagram still has like the actual regular posts and more chronologically, rather than TikTok just being the For You page of just dopamine boost after dopamine boost. And then there's Twitter, of course, which is a smaller platform, but TikTok is the largest platform in the world, the largest social media. So taking your music off of that is definitely going to affect your stream. So Universal is taking a hit, but you know, they already said that they were taking a hit by not getting paid fairly for what they were offering TikTok. So I respect it. I respect them, you know, standing on business. Let's see what TikTok does. Let's see what these other labels do. A lot of people were talking about how Yeat and Playboi Carti and some of the other TikTok, let's say not dominant, but dependent. But I feel like every artist is kind of dependent on TikTok for their success. Otherwise, like, what just shows? But TikTok being the biggest social media in the world at this point, like, if you're not successful on there, then you can't be the biggest megastar in the world as an artist if you're not on the biggest megastar app, you know? So I think that applies to every single artist, not just Yeat and Playboi Carti or Destroy Lonely or Ken Carson, because they're all signed to Interscope, which is underneath the Universal, as we talked about before. But let's see. Honestly, I'm excited. I don't even like TikTok, bro. I think it's a trash app. I'm cool off Twitter and Instagram. Maybe that's just because I'm a little older. But with that being said, y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this situation. Will Warner and Sony step up to the plate and back up Universal, or are they just gonna take all them precious streams on TikTok from Universal, since, you know, they kind of shot themselves in the foot by not striking a deal? It's been your boy Bob Lamb signing off. Canceling my contract with TikTok. They're not paying me enough. Peace out, Cloud people. Nice.